Oh yeah, I love that. By the way,
I
look,
love that.
I've got the phone from that Aaron commercial. It's actually just my phone.
That's actually insane. You're very errand out right now.
I'm
And
like
also
Aaron all
your
day.
color, yeah, your colors are it's the same color. Wow. You're just a walking advertisement
The
of the best employee referral software there is.
Well, the problem is, like, my favorite soccer team is red, and so, like, I'm obsessed with red. So, like, when, I'm getting these red shoes in the mail, I'm like, "You guys have no idea how much I'm into that." By the way, shout out to Erin. So, yes. Well, why don't we look at this
Again.
yeah, shout out to Erin again. Why don't we look at this amazing poll that I put out? Danielle, first of all,
Spicy.
why do you think I did this poll? Like, what do you think the emphasis of
Clickbait.
why? Yeah, of course.
I mean, what else?
What other
Let me
reasons?
read it. I would love to know your thoughts. Has changed in the past few months. So many, yeah. I mean, there's been a huge RTO push. There's a lot of people, Wall Street Journal came out with something about the remote work kind of revolution ending. Yeah. I have a lot of thoughts. But I think there has definitely been an RTO push. I think that there's a problem with like power and yeah, let's get into the question.
Oh, no,
Why did you post it? Why did you post it?
yeah, so I posted it because every single time I do this post, there is a clear trend, and without revealing the results right away, last time I did this post, um, it was kind of split actually between fully remote and hybrid, but a low percentage of people said in the office 5 days a week is their ideal preference. And I was talking to someone earlier, and it's not for me about remote work; it's about what remote work and in the office represent. And um, to me, like anytime I've been in an office environment and kind of going back to our earlier conversation about big companies, it's always been it's almost been like a throwback to like high school or like school when you had to like ask permission to do stuff. And
Yeah.
and I think one thing that has shifted and is going to continue to shift, this is an opportunity for smaller companies, is it's not about remote work. It's about flexible working arrangements. That's what it comes down to. So understanding, some people are going to get work done at better times at home. Other times they're going to need to collaborate. But there's these iron fists coming down right now. And I spoke to someone about it yesterday who deals with co-working spaces, and so all he's doing is having these conversations. And he said, a lot of these return office are quiet layoffs, which we've discussed in the past. But I also think like when you take a look at like the results here, which we'll see in just a moment, um, it's so clear that it's going against no matter what what group of
What
people you
people
talk
want.
to. Yeah, and there are some people in there. I will say I saw a comment yesterday from a uh, person at a staffing agency, and they were like, "Hey, I got 2 kids, I got 3 dogs. Like, it's way more peaceful in the office." And I was like, "Yeah, it's great." Like, and I understand that, and they were in favor of 5 days in the office, which I think you can create that right without having to force everybody back, and I think that's the issue. So, without
Yeah.
knowing the results, what do you think? What do you give us an idea of what you think those percentages are for fully remote, hybrid, and in the office?
I would say hmm, I'm a little bit like I don't know if people are going to say fully remote more than hybrid. I would probably say like 5% in office,
Okay.
5 days a week. And then I would probably say, oh gosh, I have to do math and I got 5 hours of sleep. Let's see how this goes. Like 50%
Okay.
hybrid and 45% remote, or maybe a little bit less remote,
All right.
and more hybrid, but
Why,
around there.
why don't we people in the comments? Why don't you just say what you want, and let's see what you prefer: fully remote, hybrid, or in the office 5 days a
Which
week.
one's gonna win? Which one's gonna win?
Yeah, let us know in the chat before we
The
before we
most
go on,
exciting part of the show.
and then let's jump in. Let's take a look.
Oh, wow.
We got.
Wow.
Well, this is we got. There we go. Okay. I know. Look at that. 4%, right? So, Nikki said companies that listen to their workforce and offer adaptable solutions are more likely to succeed in balancing business needs with employee satisfaction. Completely agree. Nikki is team remote. Um,
Okay. Well,
I
I'm
love that.
going to a remote work conference this week, so you know where I'm at. I no, and I've said this before. I'm a fan of letting people, because we're not in school, we're not children, letting people discover how they work best and enabling them to do it that way. You mean you hired people to do a job.
Yep, and Melody said fully remote as well. We got fully remote, fully LinkedIn
Um,
user.
what's what's interesting is there's a very new hot piece of research that just came out today by EY. I follow this guy, Grant Lee Morgan. He's amazing, and he just announced it today. Essentially, there's this thing that they dissected, and it's called the talent advantage. And essentially, it's companies that have a talent advantage, right? Like they're able to attract more talent, they're better at managing change, they're better people developers, they report significantly better productivity and performance. It's made up of these 5 dimensions, and I find this to be really fascinating. The first one is what we're talking about, culture and workplaces. Second one is talent, health, and flow, work technology and Gen AI, total rewards, priorities, and learning skills and career pathways. So companies that have the talent advantage have like these 5 things. See 7.8 times ability to navigate external pressures, 6.5 times productivity improving over the past 2 years, and 5.8 times significantly overperforming in current economic conditions. Wild. Definitely recommend taking a look at that new hot new research. Definitely related to what we're talking about here. But I'm seeing a lot of team remote in the
Yeah,
comments.
it's because everyone who's in the office is on a Zoom meeting right now, and they're not able to
True.
watch. They have to be quiet, and you have to be quiet in the office. I'm just joking. I love a good old office. All right, I love a good environment. I think the important thing here too is like with these companies that are bringing people back to the office, creating that purpose and meaning, and also thinking about the long term. Like there is going to come a time, believe it or not, where the job market will probably start to change and more companies will start to hire, especially with these corporate roles. And I think a lot of these companies that are just forcing people back to the office 5 days, they'll get a nice DM from a small startup that offers remote and flexible working arrangements, and
Yeah.
they will come
Amazon,
to your people.
yeah. It's already backfiring on Amazon, which I'm not surprised. But yeah. All right.
So
So
there it
let's
is. No surprises there, huh? No surprises.
not at all. I think our weatherman is knocking at the door urgently.